CrossFit Queen Creek, what's going on? Coach Rob here, coming to you from the garage gym. Let's do some quick Wodify shout outs before we get started with today's workout. Hey, yesterday's workout, that was a bit of a doozy. I had a good time with that one. Looking like the ladies are dominating on the Wodify check-ins here. I don't see any of the guys checking into Wodify. What happened, man? Hope everybody did the workout. It was a super fun one. I'm trusting that you did, just didn't get around to actually logging that in there. But quick shout outs to Adrian, Lindsay, Jahili, Coach Kate, Lauren, and Coach Christina. Good job logging in, letting us know that you're out there putting in the work. And I see a whole lot of rounds going on here. 10 plus 3, 13 plus 13 reps, 10 plus 13, 10 plus 13, 10 plus 7, and a 9. A lot of consistency going on here. That is great. That is great. So good job, ladies. Kudos to you. Thanks for logging into Wodify. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got going on for today. It is Tuesday, the 28th of April. We're creeping toward the end of the month there. Hopefully things change soon and we're able to get back into the gym. Only time will tell. So far we've been doing really, really good with all these home workouts. I'm super proud of you guys for sticking with it and sticking with us. But for today, let's talk about what we got going on. We've got 2 workouts going on today. The first one is going to be a 7-minute AMRAP. What's an AMRAP? We did one yesterday. As many rounds as possible, right? So for 7 minutes, we're going to go through this triplet that we have going on. We've got 21 double unders. All right. So if we're going to need a jump rope for this one, and we're going to go through do 21 double unders. If we're on singles, we're going to go ahead and do a 2-to-1 on this, right? So we're looking at 42 single under jump ropes. If we don't have a jump rope, then let's scale this to jumping jacks. All right, and I would like to double that as well. So we're going to go to 42 jumping jacks or 21 double unders for that movement. Then from there, we're going to move down into 14 mountain climbers. Now, mountain climbers, we can think of these as high knees in the plank position. So get down on the floor in the plank position with your hands just below your shoulders, fully locked out, nice and firm. And then we're bringing those knees up as high as we possibly can, one at a time, while we're in that plank position. So think high knees while down in the push-up position, if you will. After we knock out 14 of those, then we're going to go into 7 handstand push-ups. Now, with handstand push-ups, there's a couple of key things I want to touch on here real quick. You're going to need some open space that you can kick up to onto a wall. If you would like some sort of padding for your head, like an ab mat, those work out absolutely terrific. Or if you roll up a yoga mat, those work out really well as well. Some things that we want to make sure that we're doing when we come down into our handstand push-up is we want to make sure that we're going from a straight lockout position to when we come on down, we're coming down into a triangle position to where our head is behind our hands and our elbows are in front, like this. So as we push up, we come in through the window and then we let ourselves back down this way, all right? So if we're not to handstand push-ups quite yet, we can scale this by doing a handstand hold for 30 seconds. So you'll just kick up onto the wall, make sure that you're fully locked out. You wanna make sure that you're pressing as much as you can with those shoulders fully locked out in those arms, and keeping a nice hollow position, sucking your belly button in towards your spine, keeping your feet together and pointing those toes while you're in that handstand hold. If we're not quite to the point of holding ourselves overhead, 2 other options that we can do for scaling on this is going into a pike push-up, where we've gone over these before in the past, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold over into a pike position. And as we drop back down, like we were just talking about with the handstand push-ups, we want that same triangle motion. So as we come down into that pike position, you'll notice you want that triangle position where your head and your hands form an actual triangle, so that when you do press and you come up, you come back in through the window, and then you come down with those elbows pointed back and having that triangle shape between your head and your hands. Okay, those are some scaling options that you have for those handstand push-ups. Now these are very low reps, so we're going to go through this with very fast speed and very fast transitions between movements. It's only 7 minutes, so we want to turn up the juice and we want to go. let's go ahead and let's talk about what we have on for the next workout. Once we're done with that, we're going to move into another AMRAP. This is going to be 5 rounds, all right? Now we're gonna treat this more kind of like a little bit of a Tabata type workout, but we're gonna work for 30 seconds on, and then we're gonna take a 30-second break in between the movements. So we've got a couple of different types of movements. We'll go over here real quick. For the first 30 seconds, we're gonna go max effort, that's what ME stands for, is max effort sumo deadlift high pull. So we're gonna get into a sumo deadlift position, which is a wide stance position. Instead of a typical deadlift position with your feet under your hips, we're gonna take a very wide stance with our legs, and we're gonna point our toes out at about a 45-degree angle on each end. This allows us to drop into the squat deeper. We wanna make sure that we keep our chest tall as we drop into that squat position. Now we can use dumbbells, we can use kettlebells, we can use a barbell, we can use a weighted backpack or a plate. Anything that you can pick up to give any type of weight resistance you can use for this movement. We're gonna pick it up from the deadlift position, and then we're going to, after we're stood up from the deadlift, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull that weight to our sternum, all right? A couple of key things that you wanna look for here is as we pull that weight up, we wanna lead with our elbows, and we wanna pull as high as we can without breaking the wrist. We want that straight line in the wrist. So if it's a barbell and we're close, we're pulling to about our sternum. We don't want the wrist to actually start to bend. Same with a kettlebell. If we have a plate, then we're gonna lift as high as we can. I would pinch the plate on the end so I can still lead with my elbows as I pull nice and high. Then we're gonna move into max effort hang power cleans. We've all done power cleans before. We know that power here means that we don't have to do a full squat. So starting with the weight on the floor, whether it be a set of dumbbells, whether it be kettlebells, barbell, or a plate, weighted bag, whatever you're using, start with it on the floor, and we're going to clean that weight up into the front rack position without having to dip very far down to catch the weight, all right? Then we're gonna go into a push press. So we're gonna be using the same piece of equipment likely for all 3 movements. Max effort push press. So that's starting from that front rack position, elbows nice and high. If we're in a barbell situation, we wanna make sure that we move our head back out of the way, press straight up with a straight bar path, bringing the head in through the window, making sure that our biceps are covering our ears in full lockout so our wrists, elbows, shoulders are stacked directly over our hips, knees, and ankles. And then as we come back down, we keep those elbows high, move the head back out of the way, and rest back down into the front rack position. If we're using kettlebells, then we're going to be in front rack here, pressing up and coming down and around. I'd like to see those handles come down under your chin as we come back down into the front rack. And same with the dumbbells. Come down, rest that weight back onto your shoulders, or the dumbbells back on your shoulders, keeping those elbows nice and tall as we're going through the push press. Now with the push press, remember, you do get that 2-inch dip drive. So drive your knees out, drop down vertically about 2 inches, and then drive up, squeezing your glutes, using that momentum to start the press portion and punch to the ceiling. Bring it back down, catch with that dip, and drive back up to the ceiling. So using that same weight, we're gonna move through these 3 movements. The only catch here is that we're gonna work for 30 seconds and we're gonna take 30 seconds off. So the easiest way that I found to do this on my own, working out here, is to utilize that smart WOD timer. With the smart WOD timer that we've been using this whole time, you're gonna wanna go in and you're gonna want to set it to the EMOM setting, okay? Since we're working for 5 rounds of 30 seconds on and 30 seconds off, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna set it for every minute for 17 minutes. So what this is going to do is, as it's counting down, it's going to tell you, it's gonna say halfway there. That's your 30-second mark indicator. So you're gonna work for the first 30 seconds and then take that second 30 seconds off. It'll beep, it'll let you know when to start the very next minute. So 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. After we've gone through our 3 movements, we're gonna go ahead and take a full minute of rest. So as we move through everything, your timer will end at 17 minutes, and that will actually conclude the time duration for this particular workout. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much cut and dry. Have fun, enjoy your Tuesday, and we'll see you next time.